Fucking every hole. Fucking every hole. Fucking every hole. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's
There it is.
it.
This time around on Disc Golf Live, we'll celebrate women's disc golf with a look back at some of our earlier stories featuring the fairer sex.
Production and distribution of Disc Golf Live is made possible through the generous support of our underwriters. Thanks for your support.
Recently, an event took place near our studio which was just too attractive to miss. Here's the story.
Thanks, Randall, and welcome to Disc Golf Live's coverage of the 2011 Disc Girls Gone Wild. We're here at Sleepy Hollow State Park in Lanesburg, Michigan. This is the 5th year that the Disc Girls have gone wild here in and around the capital city of Michigan, Lansing. This was a 2-day, 3-round tournament. We'll pick up the action on the first tee as the final round gets underway. As luck would have it, while our camera did just fine during warm-ups, it conked out just as the top open players were set to tee off. Fortunately, we recovered in time for their upshots and had no more technical problems the rest of the way. This is Liz Lopez, who leads by 5 after 2 rounds. She put up a tourney best 50, that's -4, in the second round to take the lead. Erin Oakley sits in 3rd place, 7 behind Lopez. In 2nd sits Liz Schooner, 5 throws back. Altogether, there were 46 gals at this ladies-only event, including 13 advanced amateur players and 9 professionals, along with beginner and intermediate players, and a few juniors. All right, it'll be pars around to start the final round here at the Disc Girls Gone Wild. Up ahead, first round leader Sue Stevens is finishing up on number 2. She started the round 8 throws behind Liz. Pretty wide open, hole number 2 here at Sleepy Hollow. Liz plays out of far off San Antonio, Texas. She'll go on in a couple of weeks after this event to a 3rd place finish at the PDGA World Championships.
Oh, nice shot.
Nice shot.
Covington, Kentucky's Liz Schooner also traveled a fair piece to reach Michigan. Erin is a local and one of the tourney organizers. Many of the Lansing area gals in attendance got their start by playing in the Women's League Erin runs. Sleepy Hollow State Park is a multi-use facility, so a lot of folks here for other activities are learning about disc golf. There is on-site camping, so many players stayed overnight right here. Tournament organizers did a great job of welcoming players by orchestrating meals and a full slate of side events, including some night golf. This hole was a bit too long for our 2 challengers to do much more than lay up, but Liz left herself a deuce putt after driving hole high. Opportunity gone by for Liz there to make a quick 2 to jump up another throw on the field. But everyone will settle for pars here on the 2nd hole, Sleepy Hollow State Park. We hiked up the fairway on number 3 to catch Sarah DeMar. Sarah sat in 6th, 14 back to start the round. All 3 of the players on this card are Michiganders. Rounding out the second card is TJ Meisterheim, 11 back.
Good putt, TJ.
All right, Sue, I think, took a bogey on that one, probably. She had a rescue shot to give herself a putt at it, but it did not stick. Otherwise, I think the ladies had pars. Liz had a big chance to make it 2 there on the previous hole, but left her putt a bit. All right, didn't hit us. That's good.
This hole measures the same 371 feet as the last one, but plays much tougher. This is what might be called a transitional hole, with the next few holes meandering through the woods. Par 3 is a good score here. With the pin out of range off the tee, holes of this sort come down to keeping it in the fairway and executing quality approach shots. And of course, no matter the hole design, it often comes down to putting. That'll be bogeys for Aaron and Liz Schooner, while Liz Lopez extends her lead with a par 3. Scooting ahead to the 7th in search of the third group of pros, we arrived as Southpaw Lisa Harbour made a terrific bid at a deuce. Can you tell there's an airport nearby? Jen Dombrowski is another lefty. She's graced our show before, helping out with course tours in advance of the World Championships in Kalamazoo a few years ago.
Did you get that?
I did, Jen.
Did she get that?
Let's look back at the tee pad on the 185-foot 7th hole here at Sleepy Hollow. A little punch shot through the trees to a basket that sits on a bit of a knoll. 2 groups of the top pros to come through here. We're hoping for an ace.
Sue has honors as the second card takes the tee here on number 7.
Ho 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 ho. Sue Stevens. Fabulous run at it. Thank you, Susie. Sarah like that. TJ like that.
This is the last of several woodsy shorter holes. From here on out, most of the holes will be out of reach off the tee except for the longer throwing ladies. So anything but a birdie here is disappointing. And it'll be a par for TJ. Sarah's just itching for a birdie here. She's found herself surrounded by poison ivy, probably not for the first time today.
Yeah, I can feel it touching me.
Yikes. Break out the calamine lotion. Nice bid. Let's see what Sue can do.
Yes, Sue!
Shot lefty.
Yeah!
That was Liz Schooner catching an early tree. She's coming off 2 birdies in a row.
Liz has lost the tee pad.
Liz Lopez broke a perfect string of 3s with a birdie 2 on the previous hole. That should give her a great shot at another deuce. Aaron went birdie, bogey, birdie on the last 3. We'll just go ahead and mark her down for another deuce.
Good job.
After the ladies cleaned up here, we headed across the course in search of the top amateur groups. We found a shady spot on a reachable hole, and soon enough, third card of advanced amateur players came along.
Hole 14 here at Sleepy Hollow plays 252 feet from the open into the woods.
These gals each started a good 15 or 16 throws behind the divisional leader, so winning probably isn't in the cards. However, there is still a lot riding on this round. The top 4 amateur finishers will be paired with the top 4 open players for a 9-hole skins match, which will take place after the tourney proper wraps up. Such post-tournament events allow amateurs to accept cash without affecting their amateur status. Looks like it will be pars around for this group. The gals on the second amateur card started the round from 10 to 13 behind the leader. Kat Watuki sat in that critical 4th position to start, a spot she'll need to hold to get into the cash skins match. She was 5 out of 3rd starting out, so moving up will be a challenge, but she'll be able to keep a close eye on the competition. That side of the fairway seems to be a popular place today. There were 13 players in the advanced amateur division altogether. We'll see the top 9 players come through this hole.
There you go, look at this.
Oh, you guys, nice it away.
Oh, there it is. There you go.
Good save.
See, you made one. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Cameraman there and all.
It'll be another set of pars on the scorecard.
3s for everyone? Nice.
Deb Cartwright has the tee as the top amateurs tackle, the 14th here at Sleepy Hollow. She started 5 off the pace set by Crystal Fromm. Crystal's got the drive of the day here so far. Molly Galbraith started 5 back, tied with Deb for 2nd place. On her way to a 4 over 58, Crystal would take home the title today in the advanced amateur division. Deb also carded 58 for the round to secure 2nd place, while Molly hung on to take 3rd. Kat Watuki, off the 2nd card, secured the 4th and last spot among the amateurs for a spot in the final 9.
Here's a look from behind the tee pad on number 14. 252 feet, the Red Fox.
This view from the tee shows just how tight the target line here is for players. And the hill in front of the tee pad doesn't make things any easier.
I didn't follow through.
Higher shots stand a good chance of getting slapped down by the trees, while a throw low enough to get under the ceiling is pretty likely to come up short for all but the longest players.
Go, go.
As was the case on the amateur side, the pros are hoping to get into the final 9 post-tournament round. A chance to pick up some additional cash in a Pro-Am doubles skins match. Unfortunately, these players were at least 6 throws out of 4th place and the final spot among the pros, so it will take a great round to make the cut. No magic on the putting surface here today, though. Pars around. Sue started in 4th, 1 out of 3rd, and 8 off the pace set by Liz Lopez. Sarah started out in 6th, 6th out of 4th, and a spot in the finals. This is the kind of position that a camera guy starts thinking about getting a flak jacket and a helmet. TJ sat just 3 behind Sue to start the round. Yikes, another high one, somewhere in the tree.
All right, well, that group was hard to follow, but we didn't get hit.
Longtime viewers might remember Sue as one of a gang of talented golfers called the Winnie Crew, who toured the country in a Winnebago for several seasons around the turn of the century.
Ooh.
Taking a knee in the poison ivy, not good.
Sarah's battle with Mother Nature continues. She's in familiar territory.
Get it.
Hi world. Hi disc golf world. I do still play.
And it will be pars around for this group as well. This hole is an elusive deuce today. Let's see how the top trio tackles it. Liz is coming off birdie twos on the 2 previous holes, which measured 370 and 280. Erin has notched 4 deuces so far this round, but has a couple bogeys and a double bogey working against her. Liz Schooner has a pair of deuces on the card, but 3 bogeys and a triple bogey so far have left some space for folks off the second card to slip into the final 9 mix. Put this group down for a trio of pars as well. The final tally here on 14, 18 players, and 1 birdie by amateur champion Crystal Fromm. Liz Lopez is firmly in the driver's seat with 4 holes to play. Only a collapse of epic proportions would keep her from the title. Otherwise, it's a battle to hang on for the others, with both the final tournament standings and the post-tournament skins game to keep in mind.
Nice shot.
Women's only tournaments are a growing trend, with several regional events similar to this one on the PDGA calendar. There is also the well-established United States Women's National Championship, which takes place on a different venue each year in the fall. Erin has played very solid golf so far, balancing birds and bogeys to sit at even par.
Nice. Nice shot, Erin.
Liz Schooner could use a miracle or two to close out the round, but comes up a bit short here.
Oh, nice shot.
Nice run at it. Yeah.
This is for Liz's 5th birdie of the round. Nice bid. No changes on the card here. Pars around. The 16th is a blind uphill right-hand bender. A deuce opportunity for those who get past all the obstacles. And a tough one for a one-camera shoot.
Great line, Erin.
Here's a view of the fairway these gals were navigating. Layups to this well-guarded pin position were the order of the day for this group. Erin and Liz Lopez leave themselves mere drop-ins. Ms. Schooner left herself a bit more work, but she cleaned up her par 3 just fine. Another round of pars, if you please. The second group of open players was finishing up on the 17th as we arrived. A caddy suggested that Sarah was a few over, while Sue sat around even par.
Nice shot, Sue.
Some breeze kicking up. Feels good. Temperature today's in the upper 80s, as it's been for the last month, it seems, here.
A bit more open than the last few. This hole plays more uphill than it appears on video. The bushes in front of the tee force many players to shape left to right shots, one of the harder throws for right-hand, backhand throwers. Erin caught a bush on the right side and faces tough sledding the rest of the way. And the upshots for the rest of the card were nothing to write home about, despite the wide open putting surface. Aaron's not rolling over just yet.
Nice bid for a 3.
It will be a bogey for Liz Schooner as well. Solid putting is one of the reasons Liz Lopez is among the top players in the world. Nicely done. Nice par. By the time the 2011 season was wrapping up, Liz had pocketed over $8,000 in tournament winnings. So we've reached the final hole of Disc Girls Gone Wild here at Sleepy Hollow State Park. Liz Lopez is on track to bring home the $690 first prize and a spot in the skins match.
Great cut.
Aaron Oakley sits at 1 over for the round and in good position for a top finish.
Good shot. Right in the fairway.
Fit. Nice.
Liz Schooner had some rough patches out there today and sits at 5 over. Up ahead on the second card, Sue Stevens shot even par, 54. Aaron will need par 3 here to tie for second place overall. Liz Schooner has a lock on 4th place and the final spot in the skins match, leading 5th place finisher Sarah DeMar by a handful. One last birdie opportunity for the champion.
Get it. Oh.
Well, that certainly would have been a fitting deuce to finish things off on, but no such luck.
Aaron locks down a tie for second place. Well, that's all for now from Disc Girls Gone Wild at Sleepy Hollow State Park in Lanesburg, Michigan. But we'll be back in an upcoming episode with action from the Final 9 skins match as the top finishers double up to go toe-to-toe for a pile of cash. Next, we move to our coverage of the 2012 PDGA World Championship. We pick up the story as the Grandmaster division takes the tee. Veteran Annie Kreml has honors, not surprisingly. This Californian has 4 World Singles titles on her shelf and is looking to add a 5th. There are 7 Grandmasters women playing Worlds, joined here by 8 gals in the Masters division. Players are eligible to play as Masters at age 40. At a half century, players can enter as Grandmasters. Elsewhere in Charlotte this morning were dozens of ladies in corresponding amateur divisions. The ravine turns a tough hole into a really tough one. There's Annie recovering a fellow competitor's out-of-bounds disc. Chivalry is not dead.
More OB troubles on the creek.
The bare slope leading up to the basket offers little by way of sure footing. Just getting a steady stance is a big challenge here. If you've got good karma, though, you might just land near the footbridge.
That's a good toot.
Pretty. Very nice.
The next quartet had a little less trouble with the ravine. Good enough to card a few pars and a birdie.
Look at that. Wow.
Fantastic.
How beautiful is that? Hit the island.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Very nice.
Nice.
There you go.
All right, now drive of the day here so far, number 5. Should be pretty routine. Nicely done.
Just like the junior divisions, the smaller adult pro divisions are rarely contested at typical weekend tournaments. During such events, the various pro women often play in a single division, sometimes a Masters division as well. But here at Worlds, all age-protected divisions are offered, and the divisional sizes are rivaled only perhaps by select women-only events. Here's a player viewers may recognize from our coverage of one such event, Stevens was all over our Disc Girls Gone Wild coverage this past spring. You'll see her again when we edit up our footage from this year's Disc Girls Gone Wild. Trouble off the tee is amplified on this hole by the specter of the ravine on subsequent shots.
Oh, safe.
It kind of surprised us that this shaggy area wasn't more closely cropped. We saw a couple shots saved from OB there, almost mercifully. It's like the course designer has a glimmer of a heart after all. Thanks, Stan.
Nice 2 by Sue Stevens. This is a look up at the basket for hole 4 from down here in number 5. A lot of elevation, this little spot.
For a nice perspective on the elevation changes, we stayed down at the basket to shoot the final group.
We'll see where that nestled. It may have gone down into the creek.
Sheila Kirkham plays out of New Mexico. She's been a longtime provider of Disc Golf Live for local broadcast in Albuquerque at the quote-unquote station. Hopefully the city folks in Albuquerque get their heads out of the sand and return quote-unquote to full operation as the voice of the local community. This rescue shot from the deep rough led to a putt for a great par save. Sometimes you just have to let it all out.
Get it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Over the next few episodes, we'll be following a variety of divisions through different courses at Worlds 2012 in Charlotte. Later this episode, we'll have more from the divisions we've already seen today, plus a few others, as we take a look at a portion of our final round footage. Next up on Disc Golf Live, we return to Disc Girls Gone Wild as the top finishing pros and amateurs are teamed up for the final 9 skins match. This time we'll be looking at footage from Disc Girls Gone Wild 2012